Hare Krishna, everyone.
Hare Krishna.
So here we are today, outside the home of the land
of the free.
The land of the land of the free and the home of the brave. That's it.
I don't. Anyway, basically, the building behind us is the American Embassy in the UK. It's in Bitesize, those of you who are UK based.
Well, it's more like Vauxhall. It's actually
he never agrees.
It's called Nine Elms.
Never agrees. Never agrees with what I say.
It's not Battersea.
But
yeah.
So this is this is the American Embassy. Is that correct? No, I won't even agree with that.
Yeah, see the American flag?
Yeah.
Can you see it? I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah. So this is where we're sitting. I'm not convinced they'll let us sit here too long filming, as you know, paranoid as Americans are. So this could be the last vlog, so we'll see. But he's American, so yeah.
Anyway, we're reading Bhagavatam, and that's what it's all about. We were just having a little walk, and we found ourselves here, so we thought, why not?
So Canto 3, Chapter 9, Text 17, Brahma's prayers for creative energy.
And I just wanted to say to all those devotees out there, yesterday I met quite a few devotees at the temple, those of you who are around who are appreciating our readings, and even a few were saying that they watch every single one of them and watch them all the way through, which is amazing and astounding. And we just wanted to say I'm very grateful. And some of you who are trying to catch up to us, come on, get your reading glasses on, catch up. Read Srila Prabhupada's books and be happy. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for your support.
Yes, thank you. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Right, text 17. People in general all engage in foolish acts, not in the really beneficial activities enunciated directly by you for their guidance. As long as their tendency for foolish work remains powerful, all their plans in the struggle for existence will be cut to pieces. I therefore offer my obeisances unto him who acts as eternal time. Purport. People in general are all engaged in senseless work. To the point, they are systematically unmindful of the real beneficial work, which is the devotional service of the Lord, technically called the Archana regulations. The Archana regulations are directly instructed by the Lord in the Narada Pancharatra and are strictly followed by the intelligent men who know well that the highest perfectional goal of life is to reach Lord Vishnu, who is the root of the tree called the cosmic manifestation. Also in the Bhagavatam and in the Bhagavad Gita, such regulative activities are clearly mentioned. Foolish people do not know that their self-interest is in realization of Vishnu. The Bhagavatam says, persons who are determined to totally rot in false material happiness cannot become Krishna-minded either by instructions from teachers, by self-realization, or by parliamentary discussions. They are dragged by the unbridled senses into the darkest region of ignorance, and thus they madly engage in what is called chewing the chewed.
Adantagobir vishatam tamishram. Because of their foolish activities, they are unaware that the ultimate goal of life is to achieve Vishnu, the Lord of the cosmic manifestation. And so their struggle for existence is in the wrong direction of material civilization, which is under the external energy. They are led by similar foolish persons, just as one blind man is led by another blind man, and both of them fall into the ditch.
Such foolish men cannot be attracted towards the activities of the Supreme Powerful, who is actually the neutralizing measure for their foolish activities, unless and until they have the good sense to be guided by the great souls who are completely freed from material attachment.
So that was the translation for 3 Sanskrit verses, which we didn't read out, but are there. In the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord asks everyone to give up all other occupational duties and absolutely engage in archana activities, or in pleasing the Lord. But almost No one is attracted to such archana activity. Everyone is more or less attracted by activities which are conditions of rebellion against the Supreme Lord. This rebellion, that's a popular thing these days. There is no auspicious activity except archana of the Lord. Gyan and yoga are sometimes accepted within the purview of archana, when the ultimate aim is Vishnu and not otherwise. The conclusion is that only the devotees of the Lord are bona fide human beings eligible for salvation. Interesting. Others are vainly struggling for existence without any actual benefit. Any thoughts?
Yeah, about the rebellion. Interesting. This is a very tough anatta to get over, because we bring it into our spiritual life as well. So then we see that we don't always naturally, not everyone, but it's a very tough thing to get rid of. So say temple authorities or people that we do service with, it's not easy to comply, because that word in itself can be seen as negative because it's been taken out of context so much and abused. But that's why we're here. That's why the Jiva's in the material world, because ultimately we rebelled against Krishna. So my realizations lately is that it's a very strong, it's a tough stain to remove. It fades and fades and fades, but you need a lot of scrubbing, a lot of powerful detergent of the holy name to get rid of that anatta and comply in a nice way.
And comply.
Yeah, but see, it's been abused, but it doesn't have to be a bad thing.
Very nice. Okay. Text 18. Your Lordship, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you who are indefatigable. I'll start again. Your Lordship, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you, who are indefatigable time and the enjoyer of all sacrifices. Although I am situated in an abode which will continue to exist for a time duration of 2 paradas, not paratas but paradas, although I am the leader of all other planets in the universe, and although I have undergone many, many years of penance for self-realization, still I offer my respects unto you. Purport. Brahma is the greatest personality in the universe because he has the longest duration of life. He is the most respectable personality because of his penance, influence, prestige, etc., and still he has to offer his respectful obeisances unto the Lord. Therefore, it is incumbent upon all others who are far, far below the standard of Brahma to do as he did and offer respects as a matter of duty. Reminds me, actually, when we get into the 5th canto, there is the pastime of King Priyavrata. And it's just reminded me, because I'm listening to the audio books of Krishna Dharmaprabhu and Mother Chintamani Dam's retelling of the Srimad Bhagavatam, Brilliant as the Sun. In the 5th canto, Krishna Dharmaprabhu is doing the audio book, and he mentions how King Priyavrata, if you remember, he didn't want to be the king, he didn't want to be the ruler. He had a natural attraction for performing austerity and devotional activities, specifically around studying and just being a sadhu. So he handed over the kingdom to his brother, younger brother, Uttanapad, who was the father of Dhruva. But later, after Dhruva and after the Prachetas, there wasn't anyone to rule. So Swayambhuva Manu, he went to Priyavrata and he asked him to rule, and Priyavrata said, no, I'm not going to do it. And there was a conflicting instruction, because Narada said, no, you don't have to do it. And Swayambhuva Manu said, but you should do it. So then Lord Brahma showed up on the scene. And Lord Brahma said, King Priyavrata, you should do it. And he said, but I don't want to, and my guru says I don't have to, so therefore why should I? And it's interesting because at that point, Lord Brahma says, don't be envious of Krishna. Don't be envious of the Lord. And he was like, what are you talking about? I spend all my time worshiping the Lord. And he said, yes, but by refusing to perform the duty that's being asked of you by your authorities, then that's, it's showing that your enviousness of the Lord. And he questioned it. He said, no, but my guru is saying I don't have to. And he's saying, yes, and in one sense that's true. But basically, here I am and Swayambhuva Manu, both we've come to you to ask you to do something. So it's an interesting concept, how in our refusal, and I guess this goes back to that rebellious situation. But here in the purport, Srila Prabhupada says, therefore it is incumbent upon all others who are far, far below the standard of Brahma. And it reminded me because there Lord Brahma was speaking to Priyavrata Prabhu. And he says, but it's incumbent that we should do as he did and offer respects as a matter of duty. Now that doesn't mean that Priyavrata was being disrespectful exactly to God, but sometimes we can be motivated by our own self-interest over and above the interest of the service of the Lord, which may be being asked of us by an authority or even the spiritual master or whatever. And therefore, it becomes more, our interest is more about us and my deliverance or my salvation or my liberation rather than a mood of sacrifice for the higher purpose. So, and in that way, what we're showing is an enviousness of the Lord because we don't trust that someone else can be the representative of the Lord, and we're envious because I'm more worried about myself than I am of the Lord. Anyway, it's an interesting concept. I don't know why it came out, but does that make sense, or have I just rambled on for no apparent reason?
No, makes sense.
So happy. Okay.
Right, text 19. Oh my Lord.
18. Oh no, you're right. Sorry, my apologies.
Oh my days. Oh my Lord, by your own will you appear in the various species of living entities among animals lower than human beings, as well as among the demigods. You perform your transcendental pastimes. You are not affected by material contamination. You come just to fulfill the obligations of your own principles of religion. And therefore, O Supreme Personality, I offer my obeisances unto you for manifesting such different forms. Purport. The Lord's incarnations in different species of life are all transcendental. He appears as a human being in his incarnations of Krishna, Rama, etc. But he is not a human being. Anyone who mistakes him for an ordinary human being is certainly not very intelligent, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 9:11. Avajananti mam muda manushim tanam asritam. The same principle is applicable when he appears as the hog or fish incarnation. They are transcendental forms of the Lord and are manifested under certain necessities of his own pleasure and pastimes. Such manifestations of the transcendental forms of the Lord are accepted by him mostly to enliven his devotees. All his incarnations are manifested whenever there is a need to deliver his devotees and maintain his own principles.
Interesting. Any thoughts?
No.
Anyway, so I like this point because it says that the Lord here, what it's kind of inadvertently saying is that the Lord appears in many different forms simply to attract his devotees. This is also, very magnanimous of the Lord that he's willing to take on the form, of a hog or a fish or whatever, in order to deliver his devotees and to maintain his own principles of religiosity. Was the verse, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chiduskritam dharma samsthapanatya sambhavami yuge yuge, that the Lord appears millennium after millennium to free the devotees, to annihilate the miscreants, and reestablish the principles of dharma or religion, like that.
Oh my
I think with
days.
that
Yeah.
we might bring this to a natural conclusion.
Oh.
Yeah, we're going to bring it to a natural conclusion here. We thank you all very much for your kind attention. It's just a short one today. Hare Krishna, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and the Srimad Bhagavatam. By the way, we have the copies of the new Bhagavatam sets now. And if this isn't one of them, but we will get a set and we will show it to you. And if anyone is interested, then please let us know because they are really, really special. Printed, the latest updated versions, and printed by the North European BBT. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.